Hi guys, welcome to Talk to Me Tuesday for Tuesday, January 6th, 2015. It is a new year and it is my 6th year to do Talk to Me Tuesday. I'll have my 6-year anniversary in, I think, April. And I'm also nearing 300 episodes, so this is going to be a big year for us. We've got lots and lots of stuff to talk about today because I have been gone for 2 weeks, and I think we're just going to jump right in and do that. So I took 2 weeks off because my entire family was home on vacation for 2 weeks. My husband had both weeks off, my son was on winter break, my daughter is actually still home. She has a couple more weeks before she goes back to college, and we were all here. So I just did whatever I felt like doing. I hung out with my family, I did a lot of reading, I did do a little bit of crafting, not a whole lot, but I did do a little bit. I made a stocking for a friend. My daughter and I made just a whole slew of salt dough gingerbread scented ornaments, which were really fun to make. Just tons and tons of those, and I will put the link to the recipe we used in the description. And I crocheted a little bit, but that was pretty much it. So let's talk about crocheting first. So I finished the granny again, the rectangular center one. I did manage to make it a little bit bigger. This final navy blue was unearthed in my son's room because he used to do some plastic canvas and stuff, and he gave me the skein. It was a brand new skein, and that took care of the extra size that I needed for this, so it is done. I put a little bit of just sort of a ripply border by doing a single crochet and a chain 2 every other stitch. So it made just a nice little decorative edge. I had a question about one of my older patterns, a crochet baby blanket pattern that's called Monique, and in order to answer it I went ahead and started one, and it's a very small stitch. This is actually a stitch I really like for dishcloths as well. As you can see, I have not gotten very far, but I do have a bag full of yarn and I'm just going to work on it a little at a time, and this will be another blanket for the Linus Connection. Speaking of Linus, I also serged edges on 24 pieces of donated fleece. They are ranging from baby size to teen size, and those will go out on January the 17th. Those I'm not going to show you because all I did was serge them. Someone else cut the fleece and everything, so I just serged around the edges with colorful thread, and they looked very similar to the ones that I showed you guys last month. Also for Linus, this lovely quilt top in progress over my shoulder was not made by me. It was donated as you see it here. This half is already done. It's actually a little more than half, and then all of these rows are done. All it's missing are 2 corners, and as soon as I get a minute to sit down and sew some seams, I will get this finished up. I'll get the corners added, get it squared up, and I'm probably going to pass this one off to one of our quilters just because taking 2 weeks off has put me fantastically behind on a whole lot of things, and since I didn't make this one all the way from scratch, I'm just going to finish it up and pass it on and let it be finished by another Linus volunteer. So I just took this off of the wall. This is my list that I made last year for Finish It in 14. So for, I think since maybe 2010, every year I have gone through my projects from the previous year and figured out what I haven't finished. And last year I had, go all the way down to the bottom, I had 17 things that hadn't been finished. Over the course of the year I actually eliminated 2 projects because they were projects I wanted to do but projects I hadn't started, so they weren't technically UFOs. So that took me down to 15 UFOs, and I actually finished, let's see, I finished 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 of the 15 projects. Harry Potter swap quilt has an asterisk because I have the free motion quilting in progress. I've already done a couple of the borders. It just needs, the individual blocks need to be quilted and then it needs binding. The vintage quilt top I didn't do anything with last year. This was the churn dash quilt that I think I finished in December. 10-minute block quilt was finished and donated to the Linus Connection. Project of Doom signature quilt was finished last year. Taba Bomb, that is There and Back Again. That's my Hobbit quilt. It is basted, so it is basted and ready to quilt. I just haven't started quilting on it yet. My There and Back Again signature quilt, I'm actually missing a block. Michelle Thompson's block got lost in the mail, and so I don't have her block, and I didn't realize that's what I was waiting on because this was from a couple years ago, and I had a note to myself written in the bag, so I'm going to figure out something for that. I have her signature from another project we did, so I may just put it on a piece of fabric and myself and finish up the quilt, because that's all I was waiting for. Embroidered flower quilt has got a backing, but I haven't done anything with it. Topsy Turvy Trees also has a backing, and I haven't done anything with it. Those are both projects that need to be quilted. My Australia quilt is in exactly the same place as it was last year. I have all the fabric, I have the pattern, and I haven't done anything with it. That is a quilt that will be made from fabric that Hard Hat Cat gave me over the course of several years. Flannel blocks were made and donated to Linus. Mustachio is not only done, but it's hanging in my hallway at the top of my stairs. Miscellaneous published and unpublished blocks. All of the published ones I made into a quilt and I donated it to Linus. Garden Party, same thing, made into a quilt, donated to Linus. I removed Not All Who Wander Are Lost, that's the Lord of the Rings quilt along that we did on Phantom and Stitches a couple years ago, because I hadn't done anything besides my own blocks, and I just decided to put it on the back burner. Wedding Quilt Orphan blocks done and donated to Linus, and the 80s t-shirts, I think I'm not going to do anything with them, because I went through them and looked at them and they're pretty much just falling apart, so I think those are probably going to mostly be thrown away, and I might keep a couple for nostalgia, but that's going to be it. So that's my 2014 list. I will be updating that. I always do a big post about it with pictures and everything on Sewhook, so I will be doing that probably later this week. I have other things that are very important that have to be done by tomorrow, which I'm going to talk about in a minute. And then possibly next week, if I can get to it, I will make my 2015 list. And my goal for 2015 is to take the things that I didn't finish in 2014 and the one UFO that I know for sure that I didn't finish from 2014 that was created in 2014, which is my Princess Bride quilt top, which I still have a lot of hand stitching to do on. And I'll add that to it. I will go through all of my projects and see if there's anything else that I just forgot about and that I need to do, and I will make a big list. I will probably do a big paper list like this again because it helped enormously. I hung it on the door by my sewing machine so that I could see it, and whenever I needed something to work on, I tried to look at that list and pull something out and just work on whatever. These are all my projects. I finish things that I have a deadline on, but things that are for me tend to get knocked to the back burner, so I want to change that for this year. I made a good start last year, and I'm going to keep working on that this year. Another project that will need to be finished up is my paper piecing vintage signature quilt. I gave everyone that participated in that until December 31st to turn in their blocks, but if you still have a signature block and you participated in Paper Piecing Vintage in 2014, please go ahead and send it because I haven't pieced that quilt yet, and you still got a little time. I think I'm going to go ahead and extend the deadline to January 31st, and I will post that in the Paper Piecing Vintage Facebook group too, so that if you haven't sent it in, go ahead and send it in because I haven't made the quilt yet. Last but most certainly not least, tomorrow on Phantom and Stitches, we start quilting along to the Project of Doom. As you may remember, the Project of Doom is my Harry Potter bookcase quilt that I designed and presented as a mystery quilt in 2011. I actually designed it in 2010 and presented it as a mystery quilt in 2011, and that was back when I was still running Harry Potter paper piecing, which I still own, but the group is now inactive because in 2011 I started Phantom and Stitches. So it's been asked for over and over again, even though these patterns have been available since I first posted them in 2011. I've had a lot of people ask to do this as a quilt along. So we're going to do it together. And not only are we going to do it together, but as we go along, I am going to make minor updates to the blocks. Some of them are corrections. The blocks, you can make them all as is, but there are a few things, they're just minor tweaks. So I will be creating a new pattern file for every pattern. The numbers, letters, and things will generally remain the same, but I will be updating them to my current style, which is a slightly different font, and I try to include more information in my patterns now. Even my free patterns have a lot more information than they used to have. So I'm going to give you a little sneak peek. This is tomorrow's pattern, just the top. And the reason you see 3 patterns here is one of these is the block as it will be presented, and it's a slightly updated version from the 2011. There is one where you can use background space for an optional book, and then there is another one that has a slightly different piece in it so that you can make it look a little different. I'm extremely excited about this Project of Doom. If you guys have already started yours and you want to catch up, you want to finish, please quilt along with us. I will still be sharing the original blocks, so if you've already done, say, 20 of the original 30 blocks, you do not have to start over. Use the first 20 weeks as a chance to maybe embroider some titles on, or to stencil some titles on, or maybe remake a block or two that you weren't happy with. Whatever it is that you want to do, but just definitely keep up with us. I'll be posting lots of pictures on Fandom and Stitches on Tuesday Photos, and everything you need to know, I think, I've been writing and writing and writing, everything you need to know about this quilt along will be on Fandom and Stitches tomorrow. So if you have questions, save them for tomorrow and see if I hopefully answer it tomorrow. And if I don't answer it tomorrow, then leave a comment and I will definitely answer your question. But I'm trying to put all the information about the quilt along on one big post so that you can go, okay, how much fabric do I need? There it is. How big is this quilt going to be? There it is. You know, whatever the question is that you have, it's going to be there. I'm going to have links to tutorials for paper piecing. I'm hopefully going to have all your questions answered. So wait for tomorrow, save your questions, and the post is going to be huge. And I think over the break, I added about 250 people to the Facebook group, the Project of Doom Facebook group, so I feel like this is going to be a big quilt along, so you guys definitely join us. I mentioned previously that I'm going to have special prizes for people who make my Project of Doom blocks, and by my blocks I mean you make them as is, you don't change anything out or alter them in any way, so you make my blocks as I design them. I will be putting those people's blocks in a drawing every month, a special drawing for a Harry Potter themed prize. All of these prizes are coming directly from me, which is why they have to be my blocks as I design them and not altered or edited in any way. So what I'm going to do is the first prize is going to be, I've got a box of Birdie Bots every flavor beans, so you can have a risk with every mouthful. I have a piece of jelly bean fabric that is big enough to make your box of Birdie Bots beans when you get to that block in the Project of Doom. And I have some various Harry Potter scraps. This isn't a whole lot of fabric, but if you guys know anything about this fabric, it was licensed years ago, like 2003, and you can't get it anymore. So people sell this on eBay, they sell it on Etsy, and you pay an arm and a leg for it. I just happened to have come into a little collection that was given to me, and I will be giving it to you. So you share your Project of Doom blocks with the Fandom and Stitches Flickr group. It has to be the FIS group, and all of this information will be on Fandom and Stitches tomorrow, and you will be entered to win. This is the January prize, which I will be giving away the first Tuesday in February. One last little tidbit, even though I said that was the last little tidbit, also Talk to Me Tuesdayers. There will be a prize from Alia this month, so make sure you're posting your videos because Alia gives amazing prizes. And I want to thank everyone that has shown interest in posting Talk to Me Tuesday videos and sharing prizes. I will put a link in the Talk to Me Tuesday live journals description of where to go to the spreadsheet to sign up to give prizes for this year. So that's going to be it. It's going to be a great year. We're going to be quilting along. We're going to be swapping. We're going to be sharing videos, and I don't even know what else we're going to be doing. We're going to have a great year, and I hope you guys share a video. I hope you're excited. I hope you've been crafty, and I hope to see you next week. Bye.